All right, it is a hot day here in Scottsdale, Arizona. You wouldn't know looking at this scenery pack I've been trying to get working, but we are in the middle of one of the largest cities in the country, apparently. Let's see, let's get some zoom working here. I've been working on some scenery. It hasn't really been working well. I got the, what's it called? Mega Scenery 4K texture pack for the entire state of Arizona. And from the sky, it looks amazing. Oh my goodness. But on the ground, the airports are not where they're supposed to be, and that's in just the old sim. I think I'll blame it on that. But it's kind of funny as you come into land. The runway, you'll see the actual runway in flight sim, and then you'll see this like low res satellite image of a runway right next to it. And then obviously our taxiways are not where they're supposed to be either. So I think once we're up in the air, the mountains look great. The city will look really cool. But bear with me for the purposes of this flight sim. Been trying to work with the scenery editor, try and move the airports back, but I'm not the most talented when it comes to that. So, yeah, there's my disclaimer. I got all my yapping, all my excuses out of the way. Not all my yapping. We're gonna do a lot of that here. It is extremely hot here, too hot to fly for me in real life. That's why we're flying it on the computer game, and it's also extremely windy. So we're gonna fly it in the computer game. We have a flight today out of Scottsdale heading north to Prescott for some hopefully cooler weather, but not any less windy. Let's see what we can do. Oh, and we are on PilotEdge today, so if I panic and say anything stupid, I apologize in advance. Let's get our master switch on. Let's make sure that it started with the engines on, so I kind of moved it cold and dark before starting the recording. But we got full fuel tanks, 102 degrees Fahrenheit on the thermometer there. That's so cool. We're gonna be probably trying to cruise at 8.5. We'll see what density altitude looks like and things like that. Anyway, let's get this engine started. Fuel pump is on. Let's get it a little squirt there. Bring this back. We'll be doing just the quick start method because it's not a fully real Cessna 172. Over to both. Let's see here. I want to see the prop spin, so let's do a virtual cockpit. There we go. And that will feed in the mixture as we crank the starter. And start. It started so well, our building disappeared. It's our lovely blue stock Cessna. And let's go back. I know it's not very realistic. It'd be cool if you could see the propeller though from the 2D cockpit view. I just think that's kind of neat. Avionics are coming on. Let's bring that engine RPM up just a little bit to 1,000 RPM. And we're at Scottsdale. Alright, let's go ahead and grab Addons.
Runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have Information Hotel.
Information Hotel.
Scottsdale Airport, Atis Information Hotel. 2153 Zulu. Wind 250 at 10. Gust 19er. Visibility 10. Sky condition, clear. Temperature 39er. Dew point 1. Altimeter 29er rate 0. Arriving and departing runway 21. Visual approaches and use read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information hotel. Scottsdale Air.
Departure.
29.
Switching to departure, November 1 Delta here.
Cool, it's already set.
NorCal 747 Hotel Echo would like to publish this for RNAV 30 safety.
Stand by.
Okay, let's see. Winds 250 at 10
241
at
Delta Sierra 2600 climbing via
Niner.
Stand by.
Stand by. Jeez, guy's busy. I think we'll stand by too before we even call. Actually, no, we'll switch over to ground. Oh no, we're on ground. So yeah, he's busy. What we can go ahead and do while we wait is get Prescott, Addons. We won't hear it from here, but we can get 127.2 on the backup on our second radio, just so it's ready.
Up to Phoenix departure, radar contact, verify altitude leaving.
4000, climbing 8000.
241 altitude, climb maintain level 210.
Climb maintain flight level 210, November 1 Delta Sierra.
Go I copy your request.
Alright, let's see here. We got our taxi light on. Don't need the pitot heat. Let's go ahead and reduce this so we can see.
7 Hotel Echo, cross Nappy at or about 5,000 at Nappy, cleared on nav runway 30 approach Tracy Airport.
747 Hotel Echo cross Nappy at 5,000.
And then we're just going to move over to a
Tracy Airport.
prominent landmark or a taxiway that we can call him from. Yeah, 4 flight says Alpha 4 is like right there, but the flight sim says that that's nothing. Alright. And we are 130 Mike Tango today. What was that? November? Hotel. November was earlier. Scottsdale ground, Skyhawk 130 Mike Tango at Alpha 4, requesting north departure with hotel.
130 Mike Tango, Scottsdale ground runway 21, taxi via Alpha.
21 taxi via Alpha 0 Mike Tango. We can hop on Alpha and go to 21. And we got to go all the way to the end of 21. I got to be careful of that with the sim. In the earlier recording that I tried to do, what I thought was the end of the runway was not. It's like a sim mismatch or something, I guess. I don't know, but oh yeah, I can feel the wind gusts for sure. So we're gonna take this very slow, very careful. Alright, let's do our quick run-up checklist. Power is going to 1800 RPM. And we're going to need our instruments back. Switch to the left magneto. We got a slight drop going back to both. And comes back. Right magneto. About a 50-ish RPM drop back to both. Don't have carb heat on this plane. Let's do a quick idle check. Bring it to idle, see if anything crazy happens. It doesn't appear to. Alright, switch over to tower. And let's see here. We're gonna climb 3,500-ish. Let's do 4-5. I think 4-5 will be good. 4-5 just to get out of the space. And then once we're out of from under the Bravo, we'll climb up. Let's see, we got someone on final here. Let's get our landing light on preemptively, just so I'm not going through all these buttons. Let's take a look. Who's that guy on final? A -8. The Scottsdale runway seems pretty well lined up. Maybe not. That's a little offset, but not as bad as like Glendale or Goodyear. All right, let's get this thing going. Scottsdale Tower, Skyhawk 130 Mike Tango, holding short Alpha 16 for north departure.
130 Mike Tango, Scottsdale Tower, runway 21, clear for takeoff, wind 24010, gust 19 on course approved.
Clear for takeoff, runway 21 on course approved. 0 Mike Tango.
241 Delta Sierra, contact Albuquerque Center 134.32.
134.32 November, Delta Sierra.
Enter runway 21, 8,000 feet remaining.
Alright, it's gusty. So we gotta stay on top of it, full power. Airspeed's alive. 45. Apply back pressure.
241 Delta Sierra, Albuquerque Center, club and maintain flight level 250.
Oh yeah, there's those wind gusts. That's funny. go ahead and start our turn on course. And I'll show you that scenery once we get up a little higher off the ground, I think. So here's what we're working with. From the sky, it looks great. You know? Got all the roads, the cars, the golf courses. I think it adds a lot to, I think the old sim just had a lot of, like, dirt once you get anywhere north here, you know? Oh, I'm looking out my window in real life and the trees are, like, going crazy. So we'll see what happens. I threw out a poll few days ago before recording this, and I appreciate I believe we got 2 votes on the poll, which would have been bad if you both voted for different things, but luckily you voted for the same thing. I was looking to see if I should re-record this video. I mentioned earlier that it didn't go well, the recording. It had a lot of issues with the scenery and the info in Flight Sim not quite lining up right with ForeFlight and figuring all that out. What I wanted to do was see if I should re-record it in this FSX or if I should move over to Flight Sim 2024. And the reason is, as much as I love this sim, you've seen my video on that, I'm sure, I did a VFR flight, the same one we're doing right now in 2024, Flight Sim 2024, and it looked amazing, like very real, but not. That's not really the only reason. Other than the fact that, you know, the scenery is up to date and the airports are all where they say they are. I have a G1000 panel on my desk here, and it does not work with FSX in any way that I can make it work. So for some video in the future, I don't know what that's going to be just yet, but I will be doing now and again a couple videos in 2024 just because of the expanded capability of it. And the G1000 in there seems pretty good, a lot better than what's capable in any sort of add-on that I could find for this sim. So not throwing shade at my favorite flight sim here, FSX, but there are some times when the tech advances are, when it works really nice. I'll say that. I also found a lot of performance improvements in 2024, kind of just doing the same thing I did in FS10, which is locking the frame rate at 30, reducing the auto gen, and that way nope, there's 5.5. We'll go ahead and level out. It's kind of hard to see our altitude in the virtual cockpit, but it might be prettier to look at for you guys, so we'll keep it for now. We got a 7,000 foot Bravo shelf and an 8,000 foot Bravo shelf above us, so we're gonna stay at well, let's see. Let's nose down a bit. We can do, yeah, you know what? No, let's do 6.5 since we're gonna be climbing up even further. So we'll keep the climb coming. Gosh, what was I even saying? Oh yeah, locking the frame rate at 30, so that way, I guess some video I saw was phrasing it pretty well. He basically said, you know, if you lock it at 30, it can send resources elsewhere to make the game run better. so you get a much more consistent frame rate if you lock it at a lower number. So it feels very smooth. It's not like in an FPS game when you're getting 20 frames per second, it looks awful. So as you can see in the top corner, I have this one locked at 30. It feels fine. I don't notice it. See, oh, my cat's coming to say hi. Buddy, don't step on my keyboard, please. Wow. There you go. There's Lake Pleasant. That looks nice. So overall, I think the scenery looks pretty darn good. It's just the sim itself has some old, I guess old airport placement, I guess, even though I have the updated nav data in there. Doesn't seem to be always perfect, but that's perfectly fine. But yeah, anyway, probably do some 2024 flights once in a while here, but I do want to, that's why I put out the vote, because I wanted you guys to have a say, because I know the only reason anyone probably even watches this channel is the Flight Sim 10 videos, which are few and far between for these old flight sims, except for a couple people still do them. I know, what is it? It's Flight Y2K, right? It has to be. I'm not remembering it wrong. Let me pull it up. He flies airliners, and anyway, you should check his stuff out too. It's a lot better put together than my stuff for sure. I do a lot more. I'll be doing a lot more like local IFR, VFR, small airplane kind of stuff. He does like the airliners and the turboprops, IFR stuff, long distance. Let's see here. Oh, let's. How about we watch our altitude? How about that? We're under the 8,000 foot shelf and we're nearing the end of it. We're going to go ahead and continue our climb up to 8.5. And we'll cross over the lake on our way north. Actually, we will not. We'll pass by the lake on our way north. My cat's right next to me. He is wanting to step on the keyboard and I'm not going to let him. But yeah, Flight Y2K, check out his stuff if you like watching the old YouTube video or the old flight sim videos. So, I think it's been over a month since my last video. Not that I upload very much, but if you're curious about what I've been up to, I've been working on my commercial written. Just boop. Let's get off that frequency. We don't need to be talking to anyone just yet. Been studying for my commercial written. I took that a couple weeks ago. We passed, so that's good. Yeah, it's not much to report. Just it's hard to justify playing flight sim when you need to be studying, you know. So the videos will come as I can make them, but commercial check ride is in August, so we want to make sure I'm prepared for that first and foremost. So this is somewhat helpful being on PilotEdge. I want to make sure all my flights can be on PilotEdge as best as I can, just so that A, it's a little more engaging for you guys, and then also I can get a little more practice on the radios when I'm not able to fly. So here we are at 8.5. Let's go ahead and pitch down, get our power adjusted, and set our trim. Alright, so new experiment. See if we can hold altitude. I'm in the 2D cockpit now just so I can see my panel a little better. Let's see how bad the updrafts and downdrafts are. I'm just going to try the autopilot at 8.5 and see how well it holds us. And then we'll go heading mode just to keep this heading and see if it's able to keep us. Alright, yeah, it's doing okay. Went about 100 knots, it's a good speed, and we'll go ahead and get a turn over in this clearing. For the next video, and I'll probably post something as well, but I feel like it would be kind of fun to just have something to, not that I don't have anything to talk about, but like, you know, something to talk about in these videos for these longer stretches. I'll usually just cut out some of the longer bits, but if we had something to discuss or talk about, some feedback from you guys, comments that I could read, anything like that, I think that would be fun. So I kind of did that in one of my earlier videos, just asking about your experience in Flight Sim 10X, FSX, I don't know. Getting your feedback on that, and I got some great feedback from you guys, which I super appreciate. I'm still getting comments on that. So I would like to do something like that again. Don't know what we talk about, but I was thinking even just your experience with flight simming in general, what your favorite ones are and why. Kind of starting a discussion on that, because I'll be honest, I feel like none of them really do anything. None of them do everything perfectly. Like, there's things that I love about one that I might actually hate about another. Give you an example. This one, I feel like it is darn near perfect, just about, as far as entry-level sims go, and I like its focus on actual simulation. There's like a bunch of missions you can do, but if you want to do them super in depth, like it'll go there with you. The only thing is because it's so old, a lot of our airport placement and runway placement and things like that, they're not accurate anymore, so it's hard. And then the the device support might be a little difficult as well. For example, hooking up external panels and things like that, it's possible, but it's not plug and play. So I'm working on trying to get that, but even to get the G1000 working in this thing is difficult because the actual G1000 function is very limited, and even the Mindstar G1000 add-on that you can buy for $60 is still like a 2008 version of the G1000. You know, it's not like the NXI version. So I think X-Plane graphics, I think, are fine. The weather is really good. It has the simplistic sim elements that I like. It has menus that aren't like weird 3D models of the Earth. It's got a live map that you can drag your plane around for practicing things. I love all of that. What don't I like about it? I don't know. There's not much I don't like. I feel like performance can sometimes be hit or miss, but that's really it. I feel like it's one of the better ones. Ground handling, I think, could use some work. The planes just kind of ice skate across the pavement, for me at least. But I don't know. Yeah, I feel like X-Plane's actually a pretty well-rounded sim. What do you guys think? I don't have very many complaints. Flight Sim 2020 and 2024, I have a laundry list of things, but I feel like when it works, it's fantastic. It's just, I hate how much time it takes to get everything to work, and like binding controls is the least intuitive thing I've ever done. And I don't know, like I don't want to throw shade, but I feel like the guy who designed the UI was like, I want to make this look like a Windows 8 phone, or like a PlayStation menu or something. Nothing's like it would just seem difficult if I were to go into like a sim, like a AATD or something, and have a guy trying to like fiddle with it to to set up a scenario or something like that. I just don't think it would work very well, just with how much it takes to set everything up. But that's just me. I'm kind of just yapping and complaining, and that's why I love this one, because yeah, it's not the prettiest, but you can get it working. And you can practice all your stuff. You can input scenarios. There's a lot of add-ons, and I'm not too big on like buying a million add-ons. I got a couple now, but yeah, I just like that I can get in and rip a couple landings if I want to, and it's no thing. Let me go ahead and tune the Drake VOR. It's going to be 114.1. Boop. Let's make sure we got it. That's going to be a... Where is that? That's going to be a dash dot 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 dash dash dot dash. Perfect. We have identified the Drake VOR. Let's go ahead and center our OBS. See what radial we're on. We got a from indication, so let's keep this going. There we go. Very neat. About 20 miles out, so use that as a general distance guide to Prescott, but I'm actually going to put it in my what do you call it? In my ForeFlight. Let's just go direct to Prescott. Just so I have the distance information. I don't want to get the PilotEdge people upset, because I know they are trying to keep this as realistic as possible. I know a lot of flight schools use them, and there's not a lot of controllers, and they're handling a lot of airports. So I try to, there's the fun part of making it difficult for yourself, but I don't want to make it difficult for everybody around me. So we have the DME here, but I'm going to follow up with the iPad just so that the poor guy on PilotEdge does not have a terrible time dealing with me. I'm assuming. I mean, maybe it's not that bad, but let's check our virtual cockpit, see how we're doing. This just looks neat. We got some clouds over there. That's kind of where we're going, I think. We're lining up for runway 3 right, but we'll give them a call once we're closer. Looks like we're about 8 minutes out. So we'll go ahead and actually get our radios set up. 27.2 and 125.3. 125.3. We won't swap just yet, just because we're a ways out. Got some nice mountain peaks. Fuel's looking good. A little too good, I think, actually. Pretty sure I have limited fuel turned on, but it doesn't look like we burnt much. Guess we haven't been flying very long. I had a impromptu emergency procedure vibe check, if you will. I was flying and my girlfriend accidentally bumped one of my throttle quadrants while she was hanging up furniture, and I guess one of these buttons was bound in Flight Sim 2024 to the fuel shutoff switch. So out of nowhere, you know, my engine starts sputtering like crazy, and that was kind of funny. Just be like, what the heck was causing that? But we figured it out before I had to make a forced landing on a freeway, so that's good. Alright, we've got Prescott in sight, so we'll go ahead and grab our ATIS as we make our turn in. Go COM2, swap it over.
Altimeter 29er. Arriving and departing runways 21 left, 21 right. Visual approaches in use. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Alpha.
Information Alpha.
Prescott Love Field, ATIS Information Alpha, 2253 Zulu, wind 200 at 14, gust 33, visibility 10, sky condition, clear, temperature 30, dew point -12, altimeter 29er, arriving and departing runways 21 left, 21 right, visual approaches in use, read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact you have information Alpha.
Alright. Prescott Tower, Skyhawk 130 Mike Tango, about 10 to the southwest, full stop with Alpha.
NorCal 747 Hotel Echo is established on the RNAV 11 left into Stockton.
374 Hotel Echo, correction 7474 Hotel Echo, no traffic is over between you and Stockton. Report I for cancellation of misapproach over on this frequency or on the ground 122.2, change advisory frequency approved.
747 Hotel Echo, frequency change approved, will report on 122.2.
130 Hotel correction 130 Mike Tango, Prescott Tower, join left downwind runway 21 left, report midfield.
Left downwind runway 21 left, report midfield, 0 Mike Tango. Alright.
428 Delta Whiskey, contact NorCal approach 127.4.
127.4 for 8 Delta Whiskey.
Go ahead and get our left downwind 424 left, and our traffic pattern altitude is going to be 6,000 feet, so we're going to descend a little bit here. And that's 29er.
NorCal approach, Diamond 428 Delta Whiskey, level 5,000.
Or 428 Delta Whiskey, NorCal approach, capital altimeter 2990.
2990, and be looking for the RNAV 7 if possible, 8 Delta Whiskey.
Cool, fuel pump on, landing light on. Question for the viewers, do you like the virtual cockpit view more or the 2D cockpit view as a watcher? I know sometimes I like to fly with it more, the 2D cockpit. I feel like I get a little more situational awareness sometimes with the 3D cockpit, but and maybe it's a little easier to look at for you guys. Like you can see the runway over here, and let's see, we gotta lose some altitude here real quick. Versus, you know, just looking at this, but I do kind of like this sometimes too. So let me know. I will.
Delta Whiskey after Sacramento VOR, clear direct, Mr. Magoo.
Mr. Magoo, interesting.
Cleared Mr. Magoo after Sacramento, 8 Delta Whiskey.
And if you guys want to see me do more IFR stuff, let me know as well.
130 Mike Tango, have you in sight, wind 20014, gust 33, runway 21 left, clear to land.
21 left, clear to land, 130 Mike Tango. Alright, it's we're in for a gusty landing, so let's see. I might on final switch us over to virtual cockpit just for the situational awareness, or the what do you call it? I just want to be able to see like what the runway's doing and get the kind of more 3D visual of the plane in relation to the runway, so we can try our best to keep this thing in line, but we'll see what we're looking like when we get there. Let me do something real quick. I'll scoot my chair back.
NorCal approach, November 7013 Alpha at Los Banos Municipal, requesting IFR clearance.
Alright, we're at traffic pattern altitude. Perfect.
Calling Low Code Center, and you're on the ground currently?
Yes, NorCal approach 7013 Alpha is on the ground at Los Banos Municipal.
We're gonna keep our speed up for this one just because the winds are so bad. But we have been cleared to land, so we were gonna make that midfield call, but then she called us first.
7013 Alpha, Oakland Center, clear to Mesa Del Rey Airport via Pinoche VOR, that's Papa X-Ray November. Direct Lima Kilo Hotel Romeo November.
Let's flaps in. Let's do half.
Maintain 7,000. NorCal departure frequency 120.905. Squawk 4575. Hold for release.
Let's see. Oh, this is kind of a
November
silly
7013 Alpha is clear.
base. I gotta pull this thing around just a little more. Keep our speed up. Keep the plane coordinated as best we can.
Direct.
There we
Kilo
go.
Lima Hotel Romeo November.
Let's keep our speed up.
7,000. Departure frequency 120.905. Squawk 4575. 13 Alpha.
There's those wind gusts.
013 Alpha, advise ready for departure.
Yeah.
Full advisement ready, 13 Alpha.
We got 2 white, 2 red. This is kind of a silly pattern that I did, but we'll work with it. Let's try and get the virtual cockpit. Nah, it helps a little bit, I guess. I don't know. We're coming in a little high, but I'm okay with that for now. And again, it is so windy. We're gonna limit the flaps, so we might land a little long, but that's okay. Let's see what the wind's doing. Gonna have to. Oh yeah, there's a big gust. Let's keep that nose down. Start pulling power because we got really good airspeed right now actually, because it's trying crazy if we get them on the blocks, but we'll see. Yeah, there's that wind gust. Maybe not. And ooh, that was rough. All right. Crazy bounce there. Yeah, I'm gonna say that was not the greatest landing I think I've done. Probably not even a good landing. But that's okay. It is a flight sim after all. Let's see, let's get our landing light off. Prescott Tower, 0 Mike Tango is clear the runway on Delta 5, request taxi to parking.
Clear 0 Mike Tango, taxi, ramp via Delta, monitor ground, have a great day.
Ramp via Delta, monitor ground, thank you, have a good day. 0 Mike Tango. Alright. Got our parking brake set, got our flaps up. I'm curious if I go full mixture. Nah, we don't lose too many RPMs, I don't think. Awesome. Alright, let me go ahead and let's do... Where's my switches? It's somewhere. I can't see it from here. Let's go ahead and do regular cockpit. Get this up. Avionics are off. Alright, and now let's go ahead and turn this thing off. There we have it. Get that all turned off. Boop. Move our key over. Alright, we have made it to Prescott. it was pretty fun going over those mountains. The wind, because it was not real life wind, wasn't too bad. The landing, a little not my finest work. Actually, let's check that out. Hold on. I come down, I try, and then it balloons me up, and then I settle. That wasn't terrible. If that was my bounce, I don't think that was too bad. It felt a lot worse. I imagine if it looks like it felt bad in the sim, I always feel like it would have felt way worse, you know, in the real plane. But yeah, maybe that one would have been pretty firm, but not like dangerous. Because it kind of settled down, and then I don't know. Maybe it didn't even bounce. Maybe just wind got under. I don't know. We'll call it bounced. Either way, it wasn't ideal. But thank you again for listening to me yap while I sit in a little virtual plane for about an hour. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. Leave comments on anything you thought was interesting during my my yap session here. And I look forward to seeing you next time. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks.